Yeah, hi there, KP, and this is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and listen to you complete lessons 7 through 24, and then you're also going to answer the questions in part B, 1 through 3, right? So, and I'll give you comments in just a minute. Once I listen to it, I will give you some comments on which of these lessons I think you need to focus on the most in order to improve. Okay, I just finished listening to you read the words, lessons 7 through 24, and you have a very strong non-native speaker accent. It's big, and it's going to be a problem for the TOEFL exam, right? So you really got to work on your delivery. In fact, I would spend more time on your pronunciation practice than even TOEFL speaking. Because no matter how organized and developed you are, if you have this strong non-native speaker accent, it's going to be really tough to get higher than 26 on the TOEFL exam. So you need to take a look at lesson 7, lesson 8, lesson 9. Lesson 9, focus on the oi, broil, loyal. Lesson number 10, very tough. You don't like long vowel sounds. You say gate, gate. I say gate, get. Right? You also need to look at lesson number 11, number 12, number 14. Be careful of the V when it's in the initial position. Vine, van, that particular sound. Lesson number 15, number 16, number 17. Here, with lesson 17, what you want to worry about, you see how you have the K at the end of a word there, you have the G at the end. That's where you have more trouble. So the K is a voiceless consonant, so the vowel should be shorter. So you say cake. But the G is a voiceless consonant, which influences the vowel before it by making it longer. Keg. Same thing, sink, sag. All right, lesson number 19, very tough. The P's hard for you no matter where it is. You're not pronouncing the P with enough air, and you got to work on that. Lesson number 20, lesson 22, and lesson 24. Now, I'm going to tell you a quick story, and this kind of relates to what we're doing right now. Now, a few months ago, I got a personal trainer at California State University, San Bernardino. So I wanted to get a trainer to help me get fit. I'm over 50. I'm 51 years old. I wanted to get fit. I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to develop better habits with my eating and so on. And guess what happened after 4 or 5 months? I've already lost 12 pounds. I can run 45 to 50 miles a week. I just ran a 5K in 17:49, and I'm not eating much sugar right now, which is good because that makes me fat. So the personal trainer helped me to reach my goals. So I am your TOEFL trainer, right? That's part of my job. My job is to help you reach your goals. So I give you advice just like my trainer gives me advice. For example, in the mornings, he says, Michael, before you run in the mornings, I want you to have 2 slices of bread, put honey on the bread, and drink water. That's your breakfast. That's what you eat before you run. That's it. So that was good advice for me. Now, the advice I'm going to give you is pretty simple. You need to use English all day, every day. You want to watch TV in English, listen to the radio in English, listen to music in English, speak English. Even if you're driving down the road, talk to yourself in English, right? You can listen to the radio, you can hear some ideas, you can form an opinion, and you can practice arguing with the radio. How crazy is that? But you need to use English a lot. This is your goal right now, is to use English as much as you can in as many situations as you can. All right? This is very important. Now, it's no fun. Here I am. Who am I? I'm telling you what your problems are. That's no fun. Who wants to hear that? But remember, you're in good hands. I've been teaching TOEFL preparation now for 22 years. I know how to help students improve their speaking and their pronunciation. And what I just told you is very helpful information. Now, I cannot go to your house and turn the radio on for you in English. I cannot force you to speak to yourself when you're driving in a car. But if you do these things, it will help, right? So, and I'm going to help you because as you do speaking practice at my website, I will give you feedback. I will tell you what your problems are. That's why you hired me. I am your personal TOEFL trainer. I am your TOEFL IBT specialist. Think about it. How many people in the world have that? Not many, but you do. And you now have, you can tell your friends, you can say, hey, I have a TOEFL IBT speaking specialist who is helping me with my pronunciation and speaking abilities of English. That's exactly what I'm doing with you, right? Okay, now you're going to answer 3 specific questions. Number 1, what is your educational background and your work history? Number 2, why is it important for you to improve your speaking and pronunciation abilities of American English? Number 3, what do you hope to achieve in this course? So these questions are important. You tell me a little bit about yourself. I like to connect with the students I teach, first of all. But more than that, as you're answering these questions, it also helps me understand your vocabulary and your grammar proficiency. Not just your pronunciation, but how you put words together, sentences together, and all of those things. It gives me the whole picture. I can really understand your speaking proficiency by your answering these 3 questions.
Worthy.
Okay, here we go.
Part B.
Notice you said part B. No, it's part B. So you're pronouncing the P. It's kind of like in between a P and a B sound. That's what you're doing. I'm guessing that the P that we have in English, I would bet $1,000 on this. It probably does not exist in your language, not the same pronunciation. And that helps explain why you're pronouncing it the way you are.
Question number 1. What is your educational background and your work history?
Notice how you said background, but it's background. So the R sound, you don't have to trill your tongue like you are. You just say background. Not background, but background.
In 2017, I got admission in the Bachelor of Physiotherapy at one of the reputed college of my city.
In one of the reputable colleges in my city. So reputable. I would say it like that, reputable.
Is the Government Physiotherapy College. Then I have completed my bachelor degree in 4.5 years and immediately...
Notice that you said, I have completed 4.5 years. No. If you did it in the past, you want to say, I completed my bachelor's degree 4 years ago. That's how you want to say that.
After that, in 2011, I got admission in the Masters of Physiotherapy in the same college, and I have completed that course for...
Not I have completed. So go to Google. Here is the grammar question of the day for you. What is the difference between the simple past and the present perfect? So you're not understanding that. You're using the present perfect like the simple past. You must stop. You got to stop that. It's going to hurt your speaking. So again, what's the difference between simple past and present perfect?
2 years, and I got my graduations in the...
Not graduation, just say graduation.
May 2013, then immediately 1 month after I got best job opportunity at one of the reputed hospital, and that hospital is more than 250 bed hospital. That was Apollo Hospital International Limited.
Okay.
And there I was worked for around 28 months.
And then I was worked for 28 months. You can't do that either. You have to say there, you can't say was worked. First of all, the basic rule is if you're using the be verb, you have to say ing. So I was working for. You can't say I was worked for. You can either say I was working for or I worked for. So again, language use issues. So for you, it's not just pronunciation issues that are driving down your speaking score, it's also language use issues. Both of these areas you're going to have to make progress on. Now, the other thing I want you to look at based on this, what's the difference between the simple past and the past progressive? And then the question is, how do you form the past progressive tense in English grammar?
Question number 2.
Not question number 2, but it's question number 2. Ooh. Ooh, need to make that ooh longer, and then the T, you need to pronounce that with more air.
Why is it important for you to improve your speaking and pronunciations ability of American English?
It's not abilities, but it's abilities. That's one of the vowel sounds you want to work on. Again, it's abilities.
It's very important for me.
Notice me, it's not very, but it's very important. So remember, when the V's in the beginning of the word, you're pronouncing it like a B consonant sound, but don't do that. So if I said this, very, berry. I'm not saying berry, berry. I'm saying very, berry.
To improve speaking and pronunciation ability basically for 2 reasons. If I improve my speaking ability, then I will able to get higher score in the TOEFL, around 26 out of 30 in the speaking section. So I can practice as physical therapist in the United States.
And guess what? As a physical therapist, wow, are you going to make some money? Maybe $80,000 to $100,000 a year. What a good job you're going to get. So remember, everything you want to do right now, treat it like a job. Remember, I talked about speak to yourself. When you're in your car, when you're driving around, talk to yourself. Practice TOEFL speaking. Try to remember some of my tips. You remember today, you're having trouble a lot with verb tenses. So maybe as you're driving around, try to practice, for example, forming the simple past tense or forming the past progressive tense or forming the present perfect tense, and try to explain to yourself, say, okay, what's the difference between the present perfect and the simple past? So based on your own study, you can answer that question while you're driving around. So what you're doing here is you're using English in as many situations as you can, as often as you can.
So then the second reason is that if my speaking and pronunciation ability is improved, then I can communicate very well with the American people.
Yes.
During my practice of physical therapy.
That's right.
Physical therapy. So it's very easy for me to grow and practice well in the United States.
I like that. That's your real goal. Of course you want to get 26 on the speaking, right? On the TOEFL speaking section, but that's not really it. The real goal for you is you simply want to communicate. You want to communicate with people. Now here's my question. If you can do this, this would be very good. If you can volunteer maybe somewhere during the week, maybe you can go to a convalescent home. That's a place for elderly people, and you can go there and you can talk to elderly people. Just say, how are you? What's your name? And just practice speaking English. And you're trying to use English for real purposes. That would also be a very good thing for you right now, is to consider volunteering each week and use your English as you're volunteering.
Question number 3. What do you hope to achieve in this school?
Here we go.
In this school?
Yeah, but it's achieve. What do you hope to achieve in this course?
Basically, I came to know about the 7 step to pass TOEFL before 2 months back.
I would say I came to know about the 7-step system 2 months ago. So you're not sure about saying ago, right? I would say this, maybe 4 months ago, I found out about your course, or I found out about your course 4 months ago.
From the YouTube, and I have gone through review, and I found this course is very suitable for me.
Good.
And actually, I want to achieve at least 26 out of 30 in the speaking sections, and my overalls, and I want overall score of 89. So I hope I will achieve my score after joining this course.
You will. You will do this, but it's going to be painful and it's going to take some time. You're probably looking at least 3 months. And I don't know exactly how long it will take, by the way, but I've been coaching and helping students on the internet now for 5 or 6 years. But in your case, you have so many language use problems, and you have the delivery problems I already pointed out. It takes time to solve those issues. Okay, now the next thing is, we got to do one more thing. I want to give you what's called an intelligibility score. So your intelligibility of American English, right? So let's say that you are talking to someone in a physical therapy setting. So how easy or how difficult is it for these people to understand what you're saying? Unfortunately, it's difficult, right? I'm going to put you low intermediate level 3.0 out of 7 right here. So in this case, you leave endings off, your vocabulary is limited, you're somewhat intelligible, you have a lot of pronunciation problems. So it's going to take some time. Like I said, probably at least 3 months. And remember that you must fight until the end here. You will pass the TOEFL exam. The question is, how long will it take you to pass the test? I know you're going to pass it. You know you're going to pass it. But what we don't know is how long it will take. But you got to tell yourself right now, no matter how long it takes, right, you're going to see this to the end. It's not an option. You're going to be a physical therapist. This is your career. This is what you want to do. And the TOEFL exam allows you to reach that goal, right? Now, my advice is, after 2 or 3 months of using my course, and when you feel pretty comfortable with your speaking, I recommend before you register to take the TOEFL exam, you should get a second opinion from another website. And I have a website. If you go to the 8th part of my TOEFL course, you'll see a link there. It's a link to a website called ScoreNexus. And you can actually take a section-specific speaking practice test. You can take one from them. If they say that your speaking is 26, if I say it's 26, now you have 2 different people saying the same thing, then it's probably a good idea to invest $200 in taking the TOEFL exam. However, if I tell you you're 23 or 24 or 21 or 22, you are. If the other website also supports what I'm saying, you're not ready to take the TOEFL exam yet. You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm just telling you this because I want to save you a lot of money. A lot of students, they take the TOEFL too many times, they're not ready, they give ETS hundreds of dollars, and then they take the test, they don't pass, they get their speaking rescored, they still don't pass, and then they're back studying with me again. So I'm telling you, don't take the test until we say you're ready. I say you're ready, and then the other website says you're ready, and then you know that you're ready. All right? Okay, anyway, thank you very much for completing the practice test. I'm happy to have you as a student. And remember, my basic rule is you can send me 60 seconds of speaking practice every day. And then the next day, I give you, 5 or 6 minutes of feedback to help you with your speaking.